Guys, the 2024 season is finally over, but it also seems like the Cardinals are ready to turn page on an era of baseball and enter into something that we never really thought would happen in here in St. Louis, a rebuild. We're going to grade the 2024 season, players, but specifically off the top, talk about this news of a potential Sonny Gray trade, letting Goldschmidt go, and probably a lot more tearing down moves coming this offseason on this episode of Deal on the Cards. Oh man, the Cardinals finished the season 83-79, which is a 12-win improvement over 2023. So that's nice. But they did miss the playoffs for the second straight year. It seems like all things are coming apart in St. Louis. Huge piece from Katie Wu this weekend that kind of got the ball rolling. Then news from Bob Nightingale that the Cardinals plan on shopping Sonny Gray. Then another bomb of Paul Goldschmidt's probably not coming back to St. Louis. Yeah. And in that piece, she also mentioned that it makes that you probably don't see Andrew Kittredge come back. It's unclear about Kyle Gibson and Lance Lynn. Again, Contreras, Helsley, Arenado, are they going to be traded? There's a lot happening here in St. Louis right now, and I think it's wild, but in all honesty, I think it's kind of what fans have been wanting is significant change and a rebuild. If you want change with this organization, they got to actually do it. Why kind of half do it? Why not go all in and make the full changes? So I'll give my thoughts in a second, even though I think I'm making it clear I'm kind of interested in this direction. But Sandy, what are your thoughts on a potential Sonny Gray trade? Again, this is not official that it's actually happening, but Sonny Gray trade seems like could happen. Paul Goldschmidt's probably gone, and a lot of other changes would follow.
I don't think this is what fans want. I'll be honest. I think fans think they want this. And I think when they get a taste of a team with no recognizable players, they're going to want to go back so fast.
None?
A few. If we're talking about a full-scale rebuild, which I know we'll get to more in this episode, but if you're talking about trading Arenado, Helsley, Sonny Gray, letting Goldschmidt walk, trading Contreras, not bringing back your best relievers like Kittredge, and then also probably moving on from some other guys too. It'll be good to see some of the starters gone. That'll be nice. I'm sure Eric Fetty gets traded in that case. Everyone with any value. If you want to talk about a roster that's really stripped down to its studs, I'm not sure this is what all fans want. I know there are a lot of people out there that are like, trade everybody, get rid of the team, blow it up. But like that team, I'm not saying they would, but that team could easily lose 95 to 100 games.
But it also could easily win 80 games next year.
I don't know if I'd say easily win 80. They could win 80.
Well, okay, let's talk. So they lose Arenado. I mean, I think we've all agreed he's not been good this year.
No, I'm fine getting rid of Arenado.
He's not been good.
I'm fine getting rid of.
That's going to be so annoying.
Work with that. Like, I'm fine losing those guys, but you're going to talk about losing Contreras. This lineup could get even worse.
But he also only played half the year.
True. That's true. But he's easily the best hitter on the team.
Yes, agreed. But it's just like, this is not the Houston Astros. This is not the Chicago Cubs where you're going to be, I'm trying to think of some guys from back then. I know Frank Schwindel's after that, but like those are the type of players the Cubs are running out, right? Like that's not what's happening here. You're still going to have
third.
Okay, like Thomas Sajacy maybe, or like doesn't mean they can't go out and get anybody. And also like
Justin Turner,
if they like Brent Rooker, they could still do that. He's a pre-arb player.
If they make a big splash like that, I'd be fine with the rebuild.
But I don't think, even if they don't do that, which I don't think they'll do that, it's like you're still going to have Walker, Nootbaar, Donovan Wynn, Burleson, Ivan Herrera, Pedro Pages, guys we recognize.
That's
the pitching
true.
side, you're going to get McDreamy in the rotation. You're going to have Plante. You're going to see Quinn Matthews at some point. You're probably going to see Tink Hence at some point. I know Ryan Helsley's a loss. That's true. But this bullpen, they found a way to figure out how to build one this year. I'm impressed by what they did. And they need to redo that formula again.
Do you think they trade Jojo Romero?
Maybe. I mean, I don't think anyone's off the table at this point.
Like if you move on from a bunch of those relievers, that bullpen gets a lot worse.
Yeah, but you also year to year bullpens.
That's
change.
true.
And Romero looked bad down the stretch. Like again, you could do another. I mean, you're not going to get a Rule 5 pick like Ryan Fernandez. That was a once in a million thing. But you can target. I mean, some of the guys are going to get back in a Ryan Helsley trade. Like, what if he goes to Baltimore and they get one of those really interesting young bats? Like Ryan Helsley is going to get you something.
Yeah.
So that's really interesting to me. Wilson Contreras, $18 million for a bat like that. Even if a team doesn't like him as a catcher, you pay that dude to play first base for you. You pay that dude to be a DH for you. So that will get you something. Sonny Gray, probably not because it's a big contract. Arenado, definitely not. but you're moving money off, you're revamping player development, you're letting the young guys play. I actually think this is like, if the thing that I would have been annoyed by is that they kind of half did it, where they're like,
Yeah.
well, we're gonna try and win this year, but we're also gonna revamp player development. And it's like, well, we know the Cardinals aren't gonna like invest enough money to do both well. I would rather them go actually rehaul things and be ready for 2026, 2027 than to kind of see what happens in 2025. Like Miles Michaelis, to me, I don't even care if he's in the rotation next year, because you don't have 5 young starters to throw next year. Like,
Oh
I mean,
gosh.
you could do Coffin Sting, like Robersa, like sure, but like if they want to hold on to him, whatever. Like now that you're getting rid of Gray, you're probably, like, to your point, Fetty's got value. Fetty will get you
Trade
something.
Fetty. Yeah, trade Mats if you can. You don't get a lot back, but you could get that 11 million off the books, I think.
Yeah. So there's
I think
probably
I'm
some
fine.
guys they'll salary dump, but they'll probably get value other ways too.
Yeah. I think I'm fine with it, I guess. As long as, like, it just depends what the Cardinals timeline is here. Like, if the Cardinals are looking at this and they're saying, okay, screw 2025 and screw 2026, we're going to compete in 2027. Like, I don't want to be part of that. I don't want to be part of an actual bottom out. Let's lose 95 games 2 years in a row. If the Cardinals look at it and they say, yeah, let's get rid of every veteran and let's try to compete in 2026, I can work with that. That's fine with me. I think those are two really different scenarios, though, and I think both are on the table.
Yeah. But I guess I just don't see them fully bottoming out.
I
It's
sure
just
hope not.
in the range of outcomes, a young
Yeah.
team could bottom out, or it
Yeah.
could win 83 games. Like that. It's, and again, it's whatever. But like at this point, that's kind of what the organization needs to do, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't see straddling both sides as something that's going to work anymore. And it's going to annoy fans, and payroll's going to be super low next year because they're going to anticipate
It'd be
fans not
so
showing up.
wild.
And the fact that they're not
Yeah.
investing, I'm not going to defend that side of it. But like from the front office standpoint, like if this is what ownership's going to give you, because we can't change the DeWitt's minds, they're going to do whatever they're going to do. You can keep putting pressure on them. But if this is what Heim's front office thinks is going to rehaul this, revamp it with the money he's got, I think this is the right direction to go. Andrew, what are your thoughts?
I mean, I think a lot of this falls on the DeWitts, because there is a world where you do both at the same time, right? Like there is a world where, I mean, the payroll's not super high right now, or you cut Goldie, dump some of Michaelis' salary onto another team, maybe trade Mats, and you could go out and you could conceivably get a really interesting piece to supplement the rotation, and then you can make a trade for one of those interesting bats. And then you have a team that won 83 games this year with Goldschmidt, Arenado just being completely terrible. And you have a promising young rotation with Palante, McGreevy slotted in there that are going to be really cheap options for you next year. Even if you have Gray and Fetty, who's also going to be a really cheap option for you next year in the middle of that rotation, like you can go for it next year. But for whatever reason, ownership has decided that it will be one or the other, either spending on the major league team or on the minor league farm system. And I'm not saying to go out and spend like the Dodgers, although maybe Roki Sasaki would be a cheap option, and then you can go spend that money on an even bigger bat. But I don't think he'll come here at this point.
No.
Definitely not after that's just come out. But like, there's ways that you can do it, right? Don't spend like the Dodgers. You don't have to. There's not going to be that many options out there that are going to be that high end anyway, unless you're looking at Juan Soto, which, I mean, I guess the Cardinals did it.
We're not looking at Juan Soto.
Not looking at him anymore.
Yeah.
But like, if you want to win the fans back, there's a way to do it. Just maybe cut some of your losses, like eat a little bit of money this year, and then bring the winning product back onto the field. Right now, you're just embarrassing yourself because you're not willing to spend. You're spending like some of those like rebuilding teams, right? Like you're spending like teams are wanting to cut payroll, and the Cardinals generally pride themselves on having a really good fan base, really passionate fan base, which is still true. They just don't want to watch a product that is not good. And again, you eat the money on Gibson and Lynn. What is it, $2 million? Don't bring them back next year. Goldschmidt's like 20 something. You can maybe trade Helsley. I don't know. I don't think he's going to be this good next year, if I'm going to be honest. Like it's very hard
to trade Helsley. Unless you're going to start him, extend and start.
No. No. But like you could get, hey, maybe you get that interesting bat in exchange for Helsley. Maybe you get a bat that's close to major league ready. And he could supplement the lineup. Like, there's a lot of ways that you can work around it besides, oh yeah, let's trade all these guys that people like. And yeah, Arenado, not good. But other than that, like everyone else that you're looking to trade has been a really positive force this season. So it's disappointing, and I'd like to see the ownership do better. But if that's what they're going to do, they're going to make the team choose one direction or the other. Then I guess rebuild is better.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of the direction I wanted to take this into. I think you got to be really worried about what it does to the fan base to have another like tough season here. And if they're not even going to try to bring fans through the gates, I think that's a real problem. I think like you've seen Cardinals fans definitely spoiled. I'll admit, like growing up a Cardinals fan, I was spoiled. It was awesome. We won every year. It was great. But you know, having 2 rough seasons in a row was really bad for this fan base. And you can see like there's no one at the games. Even when the Cardinals were contending this year, like even when they were holding a wild card spot, attendance was way down because there was just a narrative that the team was not good. And if you enter next season without even trying to change that, like you're not even telling people in the offseason, hey, we're going to try next year. Like Mozeliak was very outward about we're going to try to be good next year, this past offseason. If you all offseason are basically telling people, yeah, we're going to be terrible. You know, like, yeah, we traded all these guys. We didn't, if you bring back someone who's major league ready, that's fine. You know, if you get a Heston Kjerstad from the Orioles for Ryan Helsley, which I'm not sure you could do, but if you were to make a move like that, that's awesome. And maybe that would get people at least interested in your product. But I just worry about that. And then the other thing is if the Cardinals draft in the top 10 this year, next year would be the last year they could draft in the top 10 before they get kicked out of it. So that would be hilarious if the Cardinals were one of the first teams that bumped up against the no drafting in the top 10 3 times in a row thing.
Yeah. But here's the thing. I don't think they're going to suck in 2026 if they go this route.
I hope not.
And B, again, I don't necessarily
they're not going to draft in the top 10 this year unless they get really, really lucky.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they could have Reds luck. I hate the Reds in the draft lottery. It's so annoying.
Well, that would be great. Like I would take that.
I agree.
Yeah,
I would actually prefer
the next Paul Schemes, and then you
it would just be really. It'd be really funny.
Ethan Holiday.
Oh, it'd be so good.
But here's the thing. Like, again, I know Sonny Gray's a loss for sure. But if your young arms pitch better next year and you get like a mid, like they have the 22nd best rotation in baseball right now, probably something like that. Like you can see incremental improvement there. If your team is not historically bad with runners in scoring position next year, that's going to swing games in itself. Where you don't need, again, having a closer like Ryan Helsley is stinking awesome, but you don't have to have that good of a closer to win games. And if they can start, the offense can do some more next year, which again, I don't think losing Arenado or Goldschmidt, it actually could improve your offense. It really could. And like, say they do get like a Cody Mayo or something like that from the Orioles, or they get the future third baseman there. Like we just don't know what the roster construction is going to look like. I don't think they're going to come into this press conference or the offseason being like, hey, we're tanking. I think they're resetting, and the priority isn't winning in 2025, but it's not out of the picture to win in like the kind of way they won this year. Again, they're not going to be a World Series contender, but the point of this rebuild is I don't think any of us want to watch a Cardinal team anymore that every single year you're kind of hoping makes the playoffs and maybe does something. The only way they're going to get back to getting like being an organization that consistently is at the end, is winning playoff series, going deep in October, is a rebuild like this. It just has to happen at this point. This didn't have to happen. The Mozeliak complacency, their inability to innovate, like stuff like that. Oh gosh, the Kareem brought up the Jordan Walker Emerson Hancock thing.
No, that
was so bad. But like the Cardinals didn't have to be this way, but it is what it is now, and I'm glad they're going in the right direction. And again, I think they're always going to have people that get upset about it. I think at this point, the fans are like, it feels like people have been calling for real change, and then real change is potentially coming, and now they're mad that real change is happening the way it is. And I'm like, whatever. It's whatever to me. I would rather see this new front office do something like this. And again, we're getting comments already. I knew stuff was going to happen. This was going to happen. That apparently I'm on their payroll for defending this.
Well,
I literally just said,
first, I think, right?
No, I'm with you. I think you're right. It's just
I'm pissed that it got to this point. It should not have gotten to this point, but you got to do the right thing at this point. And that took outside perspective to come in and do it. If it was John Mozeliak for the next 4 years, he probably is like, well, maybe if we turn the dial here and we bring in another free agent starter, then we did win 84 last year. So a couple games swing our way. We're the wild card. And then you never know what can happen if you may. It's like, okay, like we're done with that. And I felt like I get flack all the time for defending that they went that direction this year. And now I'm with you. Change. And now I'm getting flack for saying change. Like, what is happening?
I think Mo fired you as his water holder
a while back.
Payroll cut of the
Yeah,
season.
it was early on. Well, they didn't want a water holding lab. So
yeah,
and I was advocating for that. So water treatment plant. Oh, geez. Now I'm carrying Bloom's flowers.
Do you want to rank Mo on the tier list?
Let's do it. Okay, so again, tomorrow we're going to go live and we're going to talk about what we think, or we're going to react to the press conference. We don't know what time it is yet, but there's supposed to be a press conference tomorrow where they're announced changes. Hey, real quick, let's think 3 and 4 sports cards and collectibles as well as we do this. As Andrew's trying to figure out, if you're watching on here.
Which one? Do we not have this? Oh no.
Wait, I want to ask one more question after we go through this.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Maybe I was gonna be honest with me. Do you think, like, if they trade everybody, is there a way to contend next year?
Yes.
I think there is. And I just don't think they're going to do it. I think that if it was up to me, I would trade all these veterans off. I'd be completely fine with that. I don't have a problem moving on from most of these guys. Like, let Goldie walk. We don't need Kittredge. We can win without him. Bring back MLB ready talent from Ryan Helsley. Like Sonny Gray could probably get you something of note still. Get rid of Michaelis and Matz, and Fetty probably brings you back some interesting pieces. And then if you go out and you actually like go for 2 like good acquisitions, 1 bat, 1 arm, I think that team is probably better than this team. And I think some things break their way that didn't break the way for this team, like not being historically bad with runners in scoring position, perhaps. And I would love it if they did that. That would be my ideal offseason. I just don't think they're going to do that. I think, like Andrew was saying earlier, they've talked themselves into feeling like we just can't be good next year, or we can only be good by keeping these veterans around. And that's the bummer. Like, they should go out and sign a legit starting pitcher. They don't want to wrap the money up in one. I get it. But with all the money coming off the books, you're really going to reset the payroll. The payroll could be like 65 to 75 million next year, conceivably.
Yeah, I mean, the pitcher side of it, I don't blame them for not wrapping money up, because if you're probably not going to win. But like, again, Derek Gould's been saying for weeks now that they want to go get a tentpole bat, and he mentioned in his chat like Brett Rooker's a name that they're like he thinks they might look at. He's calling about to figure out if they actually are. He mentioned Vlad. Vlad's no way happening, but like
no way, Vlad.
So but like you could repackage these, like, just because you're retooling and reshuffling the deck. It's like the Cubs at the deadline. They sold pieces, but then they also went and got Isaac Paredes as well. Like, you can do both things at the same time. It's just so early. And again, I don't think I've seen a single thing from any of the reporting so far that said the Cardinals are not trying to tank next year and be bad. It's just they're cutting payroll because they're anticipating losses, which again, I'm not defending that. That sucks. And they're shuffling the decks and getting rid of aging veteran talent that is declining. Like, okay, if you're retooling, you got to do that kind of stuff. So before we jump into our player grades, though, I want to thank 3 and 4 Sports Cards and Collectibles, which has been just such a fun sponsor to partner with on this podcast. You can check out 3 and 4 Sports Cards and Collectibles 10 to 5 Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 on Saturdays at 9640 Olive Boulevard and Olivet. There's that 2-way Mason Wing card right there. They buy, sell, and trade all sports cards and Pokemon cards. They have the latest selections of packs, boxes, and single cards of local players and stars around the league, like Caleb Williams, who looked great against the Rams today. So there you go, Bears Twitter. Thought they should have Justin Fields, whatever. He actually was pretty good today too. But if you want to go get a player card, go check out 3 and 4 Sports Cards and Collectibles. Let them know we sent you. They're just great to work with, and they're really fun. And Andrew's becoming addicted to buying sports trading cards.
He loves Mason Wynn as the answer.
What if he is?
I love Mason Wynn.
Oh man.
No, Mason Wynn's the new closer.
Oh,
with Helsley gone. Yeah.
That'd be cool. I would like that.
Man.
But he's allowed to crow hop on the mound to throw extra fast. Only when he's facing Justin.
No, he needs to throw flat-footed facing towards center field. This way he can throw a 109 like Ellie De La Cruz.
Oh my gosh.
Also, one more thing before we get into 2024. Like, the Guardians, the Rays, like, there's all these teams that spend less money than you and compete and are good. And so, like, I want to give Chaim Bloom a chance to see, like, do you identify starting pitching or relievers that are going to be good, or bats that are going to be. Not saying that's going to happen, but there could be. So let's get into the player grades, and team grades and Mo grades and all the things. Andrew, you get, since you're in control, you can select who we're grading each time. So I don't know if we want to go Mo right now.
We're just going in order. So
Go in order. All right.
Yeah.
So again, we've done this after every month, basically. This will be season grades now for players, the team, coaches, front office. This is, are we going to mostly go based on relative to our expectations this year instead, or like,
I think just based on performance? I don't know. I mean, just keep it the way it was.
Yeah, let's bake in some stuff.
There's a certain name you guys are throwing in the chat right now. I'm like, I don't know if he can go in S tier.
Who has the same ERA as Paul Skeens?
In like 3 starts, but
well, I don't really care.
Yeah, S tier, please.
Hey, we'll get to him. Ryan Helsley. I mean, that's an S tier, right? That's
S
easy.
tier. S tier.
Man, it's gonna suck to have Ryan Helsley.
He won't be on S tier next year, at least not for us.
Hey, what if Ryan Helsley is the starter on opening day next year?
That would be bad. I wouldn't like that.
I love it.
I would love it so much. What if they extend him for Ronaldo Lopez money and then he starts? And then,
Great point from Brian here that my little thing about Bloom would have been perfect for the Bluminati meme, but
yeah,
well, we're not allowed to have nice things.
Apparently, there was one comment. Anyways, yeah, we'll move on. Zach Thompson. We didn't mean anything by it. Just saying. So,
for sure.
Yeah, you're in that clubhouse, whatever. Zach Thompson, F, right?
D tier. I don't know.
I got F, right?
F tier.
He's like, okay. I bet he wouldn't be surprised if he's DFA.
Oh, do we have like 4 F tier players in a row, 3 F tier players in a row?
Yeah, I think so. Michaelis F, right, and Brandon Crawford.
You could argue D tier for Michaelis.
No.
Hey, the FIP's still like 4.2.
The worst
walk
qualified ERA in the entire league. No.
At least he had a positive WAR.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, are our first 5 going to all be S tier, F tier players?
At least put Michaelis above Thompson. You can't put him below Thompson. That hurts.
Well, Thompson isn't making any money.
Yeah, but Thompson was worse. And was bad in AAA. Thompson was terrible in AAA. I'm
not counting AAA numbers.
Yeah, I also think paying $18 million. I mean, would Michaelis be good in AAA?
If we're baking in the money, Michaelis F tier is fine.
Which we have to, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I can't defend him anymore.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. I will say, Sandy, you throw a lot of darts out there, and when you hit big like McDreamy. But man, Michaelis, that ship, you were on it too long.
He had like a very nice stretch. I just want that to be known.
Yeah, that's true. He did.
He had a lot of quality starts this year. The Cardinals won a lot when he pitched.
Do we care if he's back next year? I don't care anymore.
Not if they're not going to compete. Who cares? I mean, I'd rather him not.
But like, I'd rather them trade guys with any value.
Michael, check Baseball Reference real quick.
Yeah, he had such a bad September. It's down to negative. He had such a bad September. 4.24 FIP though is lower than it was last year. It's literally within 0.4 of what it was in his All-Star season in 2020.
He led the league in walks per 9 because he was giving up homers instead. He throws so many down the middle that it doesn't matter.
His homer rate's not that bad either. 1.4 per 9.
All right, we're spending way too much time trying to defend how.
Okay, Contreras goes in. Okay, yeah,
right.
We're not. Sandy,
maybe A tier because he was hurt so much, but S tier.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't put that on Contreras though. I mean, I know he got hit. I get it, but like, he's a 140 WC plus guy as a catcher.
Okay, yeah, there you
He's
go.
a top 10 MVP candidate if he played the whole season easily.
Yeah, he was awesome.
So, Wells Contreras, S tier. I love how S tier is going to be populated of guys who are going to be traded, which honestly makes sense though. So
Yvonne Herrera goes in S tier. Sorry, Mo, for not playing him. I don't care. He goes in S tier.
A tier.
I think A tier.
I'm not S tier on him yet. A tier. Let's do A tier.
Because the defense
he led the league, or he led the team in like most of the offensive categories, like rate stats.
Well, Contreras still ahead of him.
Contreras was ahead of him, but like he's also an S tier. So
yeah, but I mean, it's not like he's 140. He was 120, 1.7 WAR, did not play enough, and had a lot of trouble controlling the running game. Although it could be on the pitching, it might not be all on him.
Well, also, the only thing Yvonne was top of rate-wise was average because OBP and slug by significant margin on slug, Contreras had him. So,
Yeah.
but Ivan was close to a 130 WRC plus guy. So, and 259 at bats, like, or plate appearances. That's significant. So, go
Who
Ivan.
was making the decision to sit him? Was it Ollie or was it Mo? Or was it both?
I don't think it's Ollie.
It's probably both.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, something I'll be interested to see, because we all know Ollie's gonna be back next year, is like, how much does he let the young guys figure things out now? Because to an extent, he kind of had to A, manage for his job, and B, also like try to make the postseason, even though I think Herrera would have helped you. Like, so that part I don't understand. But anyways, Pedro Pies, Brenda Donovan.
A-tier.
I'd say A tier. B tier, maybe.
I would say top of B tier, bottom of
he had a really good September.
He had a great September.
Yeah, 647 plate appearances. This is before today's game. 112 WRC plus is probably closer to like 115 now, maybe 114. Three F4 player, probably a little bit higher after today's game too. Played multiple positions, Gold Glove type defense. I can see bottom of A, high B.
I would say high B for me, because I don't know, 2.3 B or 2.9. No, 2.3 B WAR player entering today. So that's not necessarily A tier, although it was nice that he was available. 153 games played is big.
Yeah.
That's big for me.
Andrew, what do you think, man?
For Donovan, I think A tier.
Let's do bottom of A. We might move it.
We have a lot more A tier players than we should.
Well, I don't know if we're gonna have many more. So.
That's actually fair. They might be all concentrated at the front here.
Yeah, it's tough. We'll see.
Well, I mean, the last time you guys did this, when I wasn't here, the only S tier player was Tommy Pham. So there you go.
Yeah, well, he was on one.
Yeah. Oh man. Maybe Brendan should go B tier. I'm looking at it. Top of
I
B.
think it's B tier, man. The stats are fine, but they're not like out of this world.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Let's do top of B. Yeah. Okay.
D tier. Kareem says F tier though, which is kind of harsh.
I'd say bottom of C, high D.
I would say high D.
Bottom of C for me.
Okay.
He was like 20% below league average at the plate, 15% actually. His defense was a little overstated, but it was helpful. Yeah, bottom of C, high D, either way.
I like bottom of C.
It seems like the chat's D if we want to let them influence it.
Appearances.
Do we want the chat to influence it?
So I think that should just average it out to D.
Well, also Cody and Sarah have said D too.
Oh, yeah.
So we could do D. That's fine.
Oh, there we go. Burleson goes in B.
Does he?
After the second, he was so bad. He didn't homer since like August.
I was saying like as in like, does he go lower?
Oh,
top of C tier. Top of C tier.
I think top of C. He's barely above league average as a hitter. Provides no defensive value. Is a 0.6 WAR player.
Yeah, what started as a really great season for Burleson turned into a very, is this really the guy season for Burleson?
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, apparently the presser is at 2 p.m. tomorrow. So,
at least we're having it. It's at 2 p.m. for now. You know.
Okay, so there was something interesting from Gold the other day. Not defending the Cardinals at this at all, but apparently MLB asked them not to have their conference on a playoff game day last year, and so they had to avoid that. And then they also had some conflicts on days that were non-playoff games. And so Mo, is
you know what? Just for you, Josh. Just for you, Josh. No, we're not taking that.
And we might never use that again.
Might be the last time we're using that. He's starting to defend Mo for not having the end of season press conference. It was crazy.
Wait, no, I want to hear the full defense, though. Give me the full defense. I haven't heard this.
Oh, just that to his credit, he made himself available to reporters who showed up to the GM meetings, which was
that doesn't count.
I don't care anymore.
So I just
thought
it was worth noting.
He had like an emergency at home or something, and it was like,
hey, I did start with it doesn't defend that they didn't have one. I just like to give all the information because, anyways, whatever. I shouldn't have done it. People are gonna kill me for it. All right, Victor Scott,
D tier. You guys put him in F tier, and I won't stand for that.
Below Pajes, though.
Okay, well, he got hot after we put him in F tier.
Yeah, he got better.
So
the numbers were F tier numbers.
This is a living list. All right, D tier. Above Pajes for sure.
No. Below Pies. He's a negative 0.5 WAR player.
Yeah.
Pies is a 1 WAR player in less plate appearances than Victor Scott, or the same amount of plate appearances.
All right, fine. That's fair. Also,
I will
apparently,
stand on business for Pajes.
Stand on business. A new bar. B tier.
No,
Top of B. Above Donovan.
Look at
He
his
and Donovan
number.
are the same
Wait,
player.
above Donovan.
Above Donovan.
Yes.
Above Donovan.
Okay, he also played almost 50 less games.
Okay,
We're not penalizing Contreras for only appearing
And was a
in 70
negative
games, though.
negative WAR defender.
We're not penalizing Contreras.
But we're talking about above or below Donovan, not a whole tier thing.
Well, yeah, I think I would put him at the very top of B tier because the rate stats were really good. And they were a step above Donovan. Like, there's a difference between a 120 guy and a 105 guy.
He was a 116 guy. And Donovan's 112. But also that's before today's game when Donovan...
maybe they're closer than I thought then.
Yeah, Donovan's better than average, better or slightly worse OBP, slightly worse slug.
All right, I can listen to Donovan then. I thought Nootbaar was like 120 coming into today.
Donnie's above Newt.
That's fine then.
Fermin goes in F tier. F for Fermin.
He's a better defensive left fielder than Lars Nootbaar.
Fermin?
Fermin caught the last out of the season, so S tier.
That doesn't count.
And he had an RBI today. Whoa.
What?
What's his WRC plus? Like 2?
Oh gosh.
Negative
30. And he's only had 75 plate appearances and he's worth a -7 or negative 0.7, not -7, -0.7 WAR.
Oh, Andrew Benintendi numbers.
Adam Kloffenstein. He's a weird better
a
rank.
third of an inning, didn't he?
Yeah, let's not do Kloff. That's not fair to him. Leahy.
Oh, wait, Sandy, I'm not even letting you speak. He goes in like C tier at best.
Yeah, C tier's fine.
Okay.
A C tier reliever is a good reliever. Throw him in C tier. 4.07 ERA. He got the job done. Kyle Leahy appeared. He pitched almost 50 innings with like a 4 flat ERA. That's a perfectly average, valuable reliever.
Ooh.
Okay, there you go.
Hey,
Yeah,
let's
These
chat.
lazy C tier players.
Chat, let us know. Should Sandy and Kareem do a minor league player tier list?
I'm not making the graphic, but sure.
I can get to work on that. That actually sounds really fun.
You don't have to go. Andrew went all out with the red backgrounds. You could just put their faces in there.
Yeah, I'm not doing the backgrounds. That sounds really hard.
Goldschmidt.
I'd say Leahy's D tier.
No, C tier. He was fine. 4.0. What
He
ERA would
lost
he have
us
had?
the second to last game of the season. If he had won us that game, then we would have been 84 wins, which is what the Diamondbacks had last year, and I could make the narrative that the Cardinals would be good.
Do you think Kyle Leahy is more valuable than Pedro Pajes?
I mean, it's hard to compare a catcher and a relief pitcher in terms of that like total output.
Like
I said I voted for Pajes to be in C tier for what it's worth.
That's
so
fair. I'm asking the wrong person.
I'll say this.
I would put Leahy in D tier. Below Pajes.
What does a reliever have
Scott.
to do to be in C tier? Like he was an above average reliever. To me, that's not D tier. He had a 104 ERA plus. He's an above average pitcher. The peripherals are not amazing, but he barely walked anybody, surrendered relatively few home runs, pitched 50 innings for the Cardinals, and he didn't have a ton of losses. He only had 1 loss.
There you go. Goldschmidt.
That's crazy. That is crazy. You have no basis for this. Don't disrespect my man.
The chat agrees.
Chat. Why?
Oh gosh. Paul Goldschmidt. Oh boy.
D tier. Relative to expectations.
F tier.
I think
for his contract,
we didn't make the playoffs. So.
Yeah, I'd say F tier. He's a below average hitter with some of the worst runners in scoring position numbers in the league.
Okay, F tier needs some rearrangement because Michaelis, I think, goes at the very end.
No, that's ridiculous. You cannot put Miles Michaelis below some of these other guys.
Also, for me, it has to go at the end. Like he literally is a negative 0.7 WAR player.
Thompson is definitely below Michaelis. Michaelis pitched 170 innings and was like,
and he had a
bad,
negative
but
WAR
not the worst
all
player
170
ever.
Of them.
I'd put Thompson below.
Dude, Thompson is right above Fermin. Crawford, how is Crawford so high?
I think I go Goldie, Michaelis, or Michaelis Goldie, one of the two.
Michaelis is worse than Goldie. For sure.
Okay, so Goldie, Michaelis, Thompson, Crawford for me.
That's fine.
I like Crawford. He gave us an inning.
All right, he's above Thompson then.
I don't know how you like Crawford.
Because he's a two-way player. And
I
I have
hate
his
that
card in
so
MLB The
much.
Show, and he can pitch.
That's terrible.
Brandon Crawford was a positive WAR player. That's kind of fun. 0.1
makes him better than Michaelis.
Yeah, except Michaelis actually was on the team all year and pitched the most innings on the team and had a lot of quality starts. And the Cardinals had a winning record when he pitched.
Hey, that's
why
fun.
are you like Sandy? This is why we get these comments that are saying you defend mediocrity because you are defending Miles.
Okay. To be fair,
absolutely terrible.
If the bad parts of the team had been mediocre this year, the team would have been good.
That's true.
Yeah.
If Miles Michaelis was mediocre,
good, they would have made the playoffs.
They may have made the playoffs if Goldie and Arenado had been mediocre instead of bad.
Oh yeah. Okay, Michael McGreevy. Kareem, I'm going to let you decide because I know you're in the chat.
S tier.
It's so hard. It was 3 starts. So yeah, the 3 starts are S tier, but like, do you give 3 starts S tier?
I think. Okay, Paul Skeens is a 1.96 ERA.
S plus tier.
He goes at the top.
They were a glorious 3 starts and a relief appearance, which I don't want you to forget.
Cody and Kareem both said S plus. So
yes,
there you go.
Make a new tier. The dreamy tier.
The dreamy tier. Dalton too. Wow. Only Joseph with A tier. We could have a McDreamy tier.
Sick Greavy.
Sick Greavy.
He's so good.
What if you put everyone else in A tier then?
Fine by me.
No.
Okay, well, fair enough.
Armstrong D tier?
Armstrong?
Actually, no. Like Leahy, he was fine as a reliever.
You're just glazing these random relievers.
Because they were fine.
He had a 2.84 ERA.
Yeah, in 12 and 2/3 innings.
Yeah, but that was less about his performance and more about where they were at.
Yeah.
I'd say C for Armstrong.
I don't understand how Leahy is D tier.
1.5 higher or 1.2 higher ERA. Very different.
48 innings.
It's like Kyle Leahy is like, he has good stretches. That's the kind of reliever he is, but he's also gonna have bad stretches, and he's gonna have a 4 ERA, and it's fine. That's a replaceable player. I'd say that's
I just have been thinking about replaceable as C tier because it's the middle.
But like, I don't think an average player is a replaceable player.
Okay, that's fair. That's fine
to me. But maybe we can have different definitions of that.
That's fine.
Oh wait, I'm not looking at the full list of players on the screen. Like, because I'm doing a really jank setup. I just saw a player that I will put below for me, and I don't think you guys can say about it.
We'll see. Oh, I guarantee I know who it is.
I know who it is. I know exactly who it is.
All right, Jojo Romero.
No, Carpenter. Matt Carpenter.
Oh, sorry, I forgot you rearranged it. Carps D. Top of D.
D. He was good.
89 OPS plus.
He fell off. Yeah.
11% below league average, where Leahy is 4% above league average. D tier.
What about his ex wanted to be here?
X wanted to be here. He's actually low now.
That's a different list.
Carpenter led the league and X wanted to be here.
We should make a fake list like this where we just do those kind of stats.
All right, D tier. We can't argue about some of these guys. We got to keep moving.
D tier is crazy for Carpenter.
It's not.
He
literally only made 1 start in the field, and it was today.
It was bad.
Yeah, and it was great. I love DHs.
All right, Jojo Romero.
B tier?
Jojo Romero? B tier?
C tier?
No, C tier.
You're gonna put he's worth negative WAR now.
No, I think Jojo Romero is still positive WAR.
Negative 0.1 according to Fangraphs.
Oh, BRF has him at 0.9.
F4 is dumb.
I'd say like bottom of B, top of C for JoJo.
Top of C is fine for me.
Bottom of B.
The home run rate is not great. The strikeout rate is bad. The FIP is really high.
His xERA is 5.10.
Yeah, the advanced analytics don't like Romero, but they didn't like him last year a ton, and they really didn't like him in 2022. So.
Yeah. Well, he also wasn't great in 2022. He wasn't great either. But
I mean, he's had a 3.77, 3.68, 3.36 with the Cardinals over each.
I don't even put JoJo in the same tier as Sean Armstrong. That doesn't make sense.
Okay, well, Sean Armstrong had better numbers with the Cardinals than JoJo did.
But he played like 4 games.
It's fine. I'm fine with
the Michaelis argument. Yeah, I'm fine. I think top of C for me. You could put him in bottom of B. That's fine. The ERA is good, but the peripherals are bad.
Should Libby just go right behind him?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel like
probably.
he's trending up when JoJo's trending down, but like if you talk about totality of the season, it's probably pretty equal.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Because JoJo was an all-star conversation at the start of the year. So was Burleson, which I think should go in B, but whatever.
Yeah. All right, big boy Lance Lynn, C tier.
B.
Yeah,
B.
C.
Look at his
No
numbers.
way.
He also he only
No
averaged
volume.
5 innings to start.
No volume.
He's a 5 and dive with a high 3 ERA.
It's not good.
Okay.
117
winning one of my season awards, by the way. So
117
Cy
innings
Young?
pitched is so
No.
bad.
Okay.
They needed more from Lance Lynn this year. They needed like 50 more innings from him.
Yeah. But it was average.
It was
It was
Sean
fine.
Armstrong.
Yeah, that's fair. Uh-oh. Don't
Sandy is
show Sandy that. Don't show Sandy that comment.
No, I just put it up
Kyle
there.
Gibson.
Oh,
Kyle
gosh.
Gibson goes in right next to Lynn. They're the same guy.
They're the
I
same
think-
player.
I'd put him above Lynn because you got volume out of him.
More volume. And for a while, Kyle Gibson was like one of the reasons the team was actually hanging in there, especially early in the year. He was the stopper.
Yeah, they are worth very similar in F4. Gibson 1.5, Lynn 1.3, but he gave you like 50 more innings.
Riley O'Brien goes in
Yeah,
F2.
52 more innings.
Absolutely terrible. Remember when we were so excited?
Can you even rank O'Brien? He barely pitched.
No, he pitched a considerable amount down the stretch, and he was
8 innings,
horrible.
8 total innings. I mean, that's
But
fine to put
how
him
many
low.
runs? He gave up more than 8 runs.
Yeah, he gave up 9 runs, I think. Oh,
Yeah.
10 runs. That's such a bummer. He was so good in spring training. I was really excited about him. I
I'll
still
put him
think the
ahead.
Cardinals should give him a shot at winning a bullpen spot in spring training next year because I think the stuff is good.
Sure.
Yeah, you don't just get rid of him unless you need the 40-man spot.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I actually really like how they built the bullpen this year because when you build it this way and you do a lot of slow like starts at like low up or like high upside, but like a lot of risk there, you're going to have a lot of guys who don't work out like Robertson, O'Brien. But then you have Fernandez pop off where it's like, what was you literally just selected him in the Rule 5 draft. You just gave cash for Riley O'Brien. Like Robertson is the Tyler O'Neill thing. So that's a different thing. But like, I like that they targeted a bunch of these guys that didn't cost them anything.
Correct.
And a few are going to pan out, but a lot won't. And that's a part of it. I'd rather that than you go all in on Andrew Miller. And it's like, it could work or could not.
100%. I wish that Middleton had gotten a pitch too. I think the bullpen could have been an even stronger unit.
Yeah. And I kind of hope they bring Middleton back.
I think they will. I think you earn a lot of goodwill when you have a guy who's hurt for the entire season and you let him rehab. Well, obviously they have to let him rehab, but like I think you earn a lot of goodwill from that guy.
And he's like $5 million, and then he helped a lot. They gave him a lot of props for kind of helping in the bullpen this year and kind of help guys out when he was injured. So, but yeah, I think they should keep O'Brien. It doesn't mean they have to like give him a setup man spot next year, but like he's got options. Like no point in getting rid of him.
Agreed.
So, Kittredge.
B tier.
Yeah, low B.
Yeah, he was good.
Oh wait, Romero. Oh my gosh, I was thinking Romero and Libby were in C tier. Top of above.
Maybe
my
A tier
bad.
then? I don't know. He's
Kittredge was wait. Kittredge was pretty darn good. 2.70 ERA, 70 innings pitched. He appeared in 74 games. He appeared in almost half of our game. That's a lot for a reliever. I would say A tier for a reliever is the type of guy that not just any bullpen would take, but it would make any bullpen better.
Yeah,
And I think Kittredge would make any bullpen in all of baseball.
Oh, we're getting to another guy that Sandy really
That's fair.
likes, aren't we? Oh,
no, that's fair.
yes.
You're right. You guys are right on Kittredge.
Yes. We're
Oh,
close.
no.
We're close.
I
to
do
my-
kind of think
my
I'd bump
prince.
Libertor. Maybe I'd bump Libertor to C tier.
I'd be fine with Libby and C because the season stats, they do include his starts, and his starts were brutal. And this year, final nail in the coffin, Libby's not a starter. And that's
Maybe
tough
put
to swallow.
Burleson above Libby, because at least
Yeah.
Burleson, like,
Yeah. Chris Roycroft goes in like D tier.
It's harsh.
I mean,
He lost us a game in Miami. I won't forgive that.
That was bad. Andrew, you're so capricious.
capricious. I'd put him below Leahy.
Definitely below Leahy.
So
I can't believe you have Leahy below Victor Scott. Just
Above
insane.
Just Victor Scott.
he is
Sandy-
a below. Yeah.
Crazy. Even below Matt.
Leahy's not going to be the center fielder of the future.
He could be. You never know.
Yeah, hey,
Would
then
we
he'll
be
my favorite
shocked?
player on the team if Leahy's the
Rick
center
Ankiel.
fielder? Like
The next Rick Ankiel.
two-way Kyle Leahy would go crazy. Why are we spent more time talking about Kyle Leahy than like half of them.
If
Sonny
Kyle Leahy
Gray.
had one plate appearance, Andrew would put him in S tier.
That's fair.
If you got a hit,
Sonny Gray is probably A tier.
B tier.
Bottom of A tier.
Top of B tier.
No, he had over 200 strikeouts.
Okay, that's fine, but his home run rate was equal to Lance Lynn. His ERA was like very high for your number one starter. And he had just a couple of starts that were just so bad.
Yeah, he had a tough stretch, but he still struck out 11 hitters per 9, had the highest strikeout rate of his career. He was really good for most of the season, and for a long time, he was in Cy Young contention.
Oh no, we're missing Luke and Baker on the list.
Oh no, I forgot. Wow.
It's okay.
I would say very bottom of A. I don't know what Josh thinks on this.
I'm really torn. I was hoping the chat would give some feedback. I think bottom A,
I see,
but I could
Gray.
go with high B tier.
I don't want to put Gray in A tier. I don't think he was that good.
200 strikeouts is a big milestone, and he did it in 166
A lot of guys
innings.
are getting 200 strikeouts. Let's look at the leaderboard.
What Cardinals gotten
that's
200
a fair
strikeouts?
point from Ray.
in a
Gray
recent
pitched
season?
terrible, and the Cardinals needed him the most.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's fair.
I'd put him in top of B.
Yusei Kikuchi has 200 strikeouts. Sandy.
Yusei Kikuchi had a really good season. He was the best arm
He's a
moved at the deadline.
4.05 ERA.
Hey, Atlanta Braves. Sonny Gray is going to be the Chris Sale of 2025. You'll want to give up Matt Olson for him. Actually, Ronald Acuna Jr., who's hurt, you might want to trade him for him.
It's true. Man, imagine if we could have had Chris
Andy,
Sale.
remember when you were like saying, "Oh no,
gosh.
Yamamoto is going to turn into Yusei Kikuchi," and now you're like, "Oh, Yusei Kikuchi's great, actually."
Yusei Kikuchi had a good year. I'm not gonna pretend he
he
didn't have
really
a good
didn't.
year.
Like he was like great with the Astros.
Why are
but,
we
like,
talking about Kikuchi right now?
I'm
Andrew's
saying
bringing it in.
he had more strikeouts than
Bring
Sonny
it
Gray.
in. Sonny Gray, top of B.
Top of
Oh man, the Statcasts loved Gray.
Gorman goes in F.
If he had given him a little more time, he could have gone to A.
Gorman goes in F.
Yeah, I'll give you Gorman F tier.
Yeah.
The
Chris
strikeout
Davis.
rate was just so bad. It was
Where
unbelievable.
does he go in F?
He's above
Our F tier is
Goldschmidt.
the biggest tier.
He's lucky he didn't
Oh.
he's lucky he didn't qualify, because if he did, he would have the worst strikeout rate of all time on qualifying hitters.
No, he's not ahead of
except for players in the COVID short season. That would have been the only two players, but
You put him below Crawford?
Yes.
That's great.
Crawford gave me more competitive at bats.
I wonder, what do you guys think about this? Gorm had a lot of home runs. Like, does that?
He also had like the most strikeouts on the team, and he didn't even play like
Yeah,
that.
I guess I get that argument, but when you're that bad at getting on base and striking out, the amount of home runs doesn't really matter to me.
Chris Davis.
Yeah, it's the Joey Gallo conundrum.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
Gorman
yeah,
also
Gorm
took
was
a step
bad.
back
Andy,
defensively.
where are you putting John King?
A tier. John King was awesome. You can't even argue with me. You tried all year to hate on John King. Everyone has hated on John King, and you can't even argue with it. He was so good this year, and he was so good last year. Let's just go back to spring training, okay? Let's go back to spring training when we were building our rosters, and I said, I think John King is the last guy in the bullpen. I said, I think John King is the last. Yeah, FIP didn't matter when we were talking about Kyle Leahy for you, so it can't matter when we're talking about King. And I said, I think John King should be the last guy in the bullpen. And these clowns said no way. And people in our chat said no way. And then John King was awesome this year. 60 innings pitched, a 2.85 ERA, one of the best ground ball rates among any pitcher in all of baseball. The metrics don't even hate him that much. So I am big on John King.
I want to give you your flowers for that McGreevy, but I'm also but you'll also like stand on Gord Graceffo being like Hunter Brown and Kyle Leahy being like
okay.
a good
Gordon
reliever.
Graceffo, Hunter Brown comparison. I misspoke. I should have said Argetty.
Oh man,
Argetty was like rookie of the month or something.
Oh no.
What?
That'd be kind of fun. There's going to be a doubleheader tomorrow from the Mets and Braves. They'll determine the wild card.
Yeah.
That's actually kind of fun. It's kind of fun.
Yeah,
2 games in one day.
I'm still like angry because my season just ended. So
your
Go
season
Walker.
is just beginning, Sandy. If you glaze two-way players like me.
No.
Oh my gosh.
But the one last thing to close that out. I will say this. I think the point that I was making with the Gordon Graceffo thing still stands. The Cardinals don't give opportunities to young pitchers. I'm glad they gave it to McGreevy because McGreevy was awesome in the 3 starts they gave him.
It's true.
Jordan
And they
Walker.
should have given Gordon Graceffo an opportunity in September. And I just can't believe they didn't.
It's fair. Walker, I would put above Gorm in F.
Oh,
I'd put
In
Walker
F?
well above Gorman. I think Walker, you can make an argument for bottom of D, but F is fine with me.
He's
in F?
a
No
negative
way.
0.6 WAR player,
Okay,
30%
that's pretty
below
bad.
league average at the plate.
Okay, but like,
He slashed 200, 253, 369 with
That's
terrible
bad.
defense.
Bad.
I mean, I love Jordan Walker.
622 OPS, just not good.
okay, but like the team failed him. Like, it's not really.
True, but I don't know if that makes him a D tier guy though.
Yeah, I'm
I
fine.
think-
The performance was bad. Like the performance was terrible.
And like even like here's the thing, like I totally agree with Katie's point that they've failed him and they've like done, but like there is still an element that's on him. Like
Yeah.
he shouldn't be this bad defensively, and he shouldn't have gotten messed up this bad at the plate. It's still I still fault the Cardinals a lot, but like you can't
should be a
absolve
good
him
hitter.
of that.
He cannot be a
Yeah.
70 OPS plus hitter.
So
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
sucks, but Robertson like F tier probably too. Maybe.
Yeah, he didn't even
F tier is
pitch at
so
all.
big now.
Put him below O'Brien. No, put him above O'Brien. Actually, he was better.
Oh, he was better than
Well, 4.38, 4.54 FIP. Only through 12 innings though.
D tier.
It's probably D tier.
What?
And he did get a call with the Blue Jays, so there you go.
I would F tier him.
But he was basically been the same as Roycroft and Leahy were.
Oh, I can't say he was the same as Leahy.
Oh,
He was
okay.
similar to
Why
Roycroft.
are we getting into this bullpen discussion again? Every time you say Leahy, you're getting into trouble.
All right, that's true. We're never bringing up Leahy's name again. Arenado.
Oh, here's Andrew's. Andrew's favorite is next.
right
After
next to Goldie. Who was
Yeah.
worse?
Arenado was worse, I think. I think you were relying on Arenado for more. If we bake in preseason expectations, Arenado was the guy that all offseason people were like, oh, he's angry. Like he's going to be an MVP. Remember how many like Arenado was angry takes we heard? Remember how many
Yeah.
of those we had and didn't deliver on any of the hype?
He's their second highest WAR player of their position players, 3.1.
Maybe D tier then. Maybe right at the end of D.
I wouldn't mind putting F because of the contract and how bad he was with running scoring position too and all that. But I think
I think he
He's
and Goldie
above
belong
Goldie.
together.
yeah, let's let them keep together.
Our
The
two
Golden
superstars.
Auto.
Our two superstars.
There
That's
you
what-
go.
Hey,
he just did it.
Giovanni Gallegos, no hesitation, end of B tier, worst player on the team the entire year, and I'm so glad that he's gone.
I like
I
Andrew's
saw-
confidence.
I saw a Twins fan on Twitter try to defend putting him in the playoff bullpen. By the way, you guys didn't make the playoffs, haha.
oh my
Because
gosh.
he has good playoff numbers. And I was like, oh boy.
Here's the struggle I have with him being in the very bottom of F tier is that he has 6.53 ERA and Riley O'Brien at 11.25 and Zach
Okay, but
Thompson
was
at
Riley
13.
O'Brien your setup guy going into the season? It was
I just
Riley
wanted-
O'Brien on an extension.
I just want to say one thing about Gio. Andrew, like Gio has so many innings for a reliever, and I get that he was terrible this year, but like Gio had a really,
It's
really
this year. It's
I
this
know.
year.
I'm just saying, like Gio being your setup guy coming in the year was not an absurd thing for the Cardinals to think because he'd been really good for like. I like Gio
That was not me.
for a while, and it's sad. It's devastating what happened to him this year. I hate it.
He goes at the end of F tier, and he's my least favorite player on the team this year.
So mean.
Whatever.
don't
I'll let
care about
Andrew have it.
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
can,
it
whatever.
doesn't matter.
It's fine.
He's on a rookie contract.
Hey,
It's fine. I
do
have
gotta
more
say,
people to glaze coming up. So
We appreciate how many people are tuning into us debating where Giovanni Gallegos and Kyle Leahy and Nick Robertson should be. We appreciate you guys a lot. Thank you. Why
Is this
are we doing-
Graceffo? Graceffo had one star, right?
Yeah, you too.
Graceffo was mid. He had the start against Kansas City that was actually really encouraging.
I'd say probably D tier for him.
Yeah, he had a 4.7 ERA if I remember.
There you go.
Wait, why doesn't Graceffo pop up for me?
That felt
on-
targeted.
Yeah, it was targeted, Sandy.
He threw more than 5 innings. Wait, did he not throw more than 5 innings?
I thought he had here. Let
Oh
me
my gosh, he only threw 3 1/3. Oh, because
Did
he
he
had 1
start?
start and 1 relief appearance, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, and it was an 8 ERA in the 1 start. Jeez. Oh, and then that relief appearance is when he came in and shut them down.
Yeah, the relief appearance was encouraging.
What was worse to watch, Wainwright's last year or Gio this year? Absolutely Gio this year because Gio didn't get it at bat.
Oh gosh. Let's
Also didn't get 200 wins.
Did we rank him? Where did he go? Graceffo
No,
D tier. Oh, that's fair.
I put him right ahead of Leahy.
Andre Palante, right below
Lazy.
Herrera in A tier, or right above Herrera in A tier?
He's definitely A tier. Andre Palante was the Cardinals' best starter this year,
3.56
except for
ERA.
McGreevy. Yeah, it's crazy. And how good was he after he became?
I'm putting him above Herrera because Herrera just didn't play that much, and that's not his fault. But I feel like you shouldn't put him. Look at our F tier, man.
It's
gonna
about
to
to
grow
it's a
even more.
reflection of the season. So, Steven Matz, F tier.
Yeah, Steven Matz. Why did Steven Matz get to close it out today? That honestly, that ticked me off.
Trade value, man. Trade value.
Oh
gosh, Ryan Fernandez.
A tier.
I mean, it didn't.
I see like 6 more F tier players.
He ended up finishing with a 3.5 ERA. I would probably say bottom of or top of B tier, maybe low A tier, probably B tier right by Gray.
Yeah.
I mean, just
Dylan Carlson. Where is he even? Like, where? Like F tier? Like, I can't even see all of F tier.
F tier? Yeah, it's got to be F tier.
Got to be F tier.
Got to be F tier. Got to be deep in F tier.
Like above Thompson.
I'd say below Thompson.
Right next to Fermin.
Yeah, they go together.
A little bit better.
Like Goldonado for Marlson.
All right, I want to say let's all three say Michael Ciani is on 3 because I'm very interested to see where we land.
Oh gosh.
Well, I know what Kareem said.
Yeah. Well, okay. 3, 2, 1. D tier. C.
Bottom of C.
I was gonna say top of D because
he's
I
gonna
know
win
the
a Gold
defense is
Glove.
awesome.
I think he's gonna win a Gold Glove. That's why.
He probably isn't. I think he's below Young from the Nationals, and it's
but the rate stats are so much better for Ciani. He did like 400 less innings.
But like the bat is so bad though.
It's really bad.
So that's why I struggle with C tier. I'd say D tier.
Still a one more player in.
Actually, I should put him right
bats.
behind Victor Scott.
Actually, you know what? He and Pajes are the same player. I thought Pajes should be bottom of C. I think Ciani should be bottom of C. You can put them together if you want. I would have them both bottom of C. Josh has them top of D. That's fine. We're splitting hairs. Kareem. Yeah, you're probably right, Kareem.
Here for reference,
Max Moroff.
Trading on this is literally he basically evens himself out off like the off thing, which I don't even fully understand. Is calculated on so batting and base running combined versus defense. He's negative 11.6 for offense, and plus he was positive 10.7 for defense.
He's so good defensively.
Oh gosh,
he is fun. He's genuinely fun to watch in the field.
Yeah. Mason S tier or A tier?
Top of A.
Yeah. Slightly above league average at the plate. Good defense.
He kind of had a tough second half.
3.4 WAR player.
4.9 on BREF, which is really exciting. Like definitely our best player. And if he got anything today, could be a 5 WAR player.
Let's go win. Ludus.
You should finish second in Rookie of the Year voting ahead of Jackson Merrill, but that's my hot take.
I cannot believe people think Jackson Merrill's it over Paul Skeens.
That's crazy to me. I don't know.
Paul Skeens, there's an argument for Paul Skeens to win the Cy Young Award. He's not going to, but there's like an argument there, and I would listen to it.
Sandy, it would be so funny if you and Josh got your Cy Young pick wrong because of Emmanuel Clase. That would be the funniest thing to me.
There's an argument for Clase. I would consider voting for Clase. He was that dominant. It's like 5 earned runs all year.
Yeah.
But it will be Scooble.
I don't like relievers winning Cy Young. I feel like Cy Young to me is a starting because there isn't a starting pitching award. Like there is a reliever award.
What, so Rolad's relief pitcher of the year?
Yeah. So I think
it's Rivera for the AL, but yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways.
But Ryan Ludus. Did he even play? Can we put Jacob Bosiakovic in S tier just for being there for like 5 games and not playing?
Hey, he's still in the organization, by the way.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I want to put him in S tier.
You can't rank Ludus. 0 ERA, 3 games, 2.1 innings pitched.
Yeah,
it's the same as Claude.
You ranked
Graceffo
on that.
Probably shouldn't have ranked him either.
Well, Graceffo had 8 innings pitched.
No, he didn't. He had like 3.
No,
was-
he had 8. He had 8
Yeah,
total.
because he had 4 relief, 5 or 3
Yeah.
or 2 starting. But anyways,
Yeah.
Tommy Pham. I don't
Like-
even know.
He was in S tier last time. If he goes in like C or D, then it would be like
Well,
the biggest fall off.
We also ranked him like right after he hit the grand slam. Like
Yeah, that was the
he
most one of the most exciting moments of the whole season.
below league average at the plate. Wasn't a good defender. Probably bottom of C,
D.
if not
He's
top
D-tier.
of D. Actually,
He's D tier because if not for that
That's
one
true.
moment, he's F tier.
yeah, and he's probably below Pages and Scott
He's
because
definitely
his
below
offense is worse
Pages
than Pages.
And Siani, yeah,
And he wanted to leave. He has to leave.
yeah.
Well, I would ask to leave too. Like if I'm being honest.
Also,
He just had one
someone's saying
moment.
Cy Young is Chris Sale. We're talking about American League for Scoop Bowl and Class A, not National League,
Oh, and for
right?
Triple Crown,
Yeah.
yeah, I was mentioning that I think there's an argument for Skeens to win the Cy Young Award. He won't, but I just think there's an
Oh.
argument.
Sorry, I forgot you did that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Scoop Bowl.
I don't even know if I would vote for him, but I would.
I've
be
never
interested
heard
in
of a
the
triple
conversation.
crown before. I don't know what you're talking about. What's a triple crown?
Something Otani won't win today.
Casual.
Okay, well,
Oh man. Fetty. I think he's like a 4 area at the Cardinals.
Yeah, and he gave us no volume.
solid C tier.
I'm a
Yeah.
D1 Fetty hater.
Probably below Lynn in C tier.
What did he do for us? 55 innings. How many? 10 starts. He averaged like barely 5 innings a start.
Yeah. Wah, wah. Oh well. Honestly, you
JC.
could trade him. I feel like he's one of those guys you should shop this offseason, but if you don't get something, you keep him and hope he has a good first half and you flip him again. But
Absolutely. But I would definitely be shopping him. The value.
Trade him to the Dodgers for Tommy Edman. There you go.
Thomas to JC. It actually
Yeah.
wasn't that good
The
offensive.
fact that Tommy
He was
Edman
really
is
bad
not on this
offensively.
list is actually crazy to me. And I'm
He
very-
was positive war though, because his defense is decent. You like to see
Yeah,
that.
he's a good defender.
Probably like below Pham and Scott, or below Scott and D tier, or I guess late. He probably should be below. D.
This is going to be funny, but if you extrapolate his stats, they're just the same as Siani and Paes. You can't really
Yeah.
do that, but like it'd be funny if you did. And so I think I'll just pretend he's the same player,
He
even though I
also got like a
way
week
better
of play,
offensively.
too. And Siani and Pies got an entire season. And I think the JC will get better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
I
right. Here's where things get really interesting, guys. Oliver. 3.
Are we going on 3?
Yeah, let's do it. 3, 2, 1. B
B.
tier.
A tier.
Oh, A tier is nice. I was thinking
I almost
about
went
it.
A. Yeah. What do we think, Chad, about Ollie? That's a dangerous
You
question.
you guys said B tier because you didn't want to catch the flack from the comments.
That's actually kind of true.
Yes.
So we
That's
are putting
exactly
in A
why.
tier. You guys gave into the pressure.
Executive decision from Andrew.
Yeah. Hey, Pythagorean wise, they're projected to be a low 70s win team, and they somehow won 80 something games with terrible offense. Also, I think it was Bernie said in his show recently that some guys that were not related, like outside the like in the industry, but not really the Cardinals at all, talked to him about how they hadn't seen a manager in baseball manage a bullpen as good as Ollie has, which is super interesting because Cardinal fans want to rip him for it.
Every
Yeah,
time.
look at
It's
the
always
Cardinals' expected win-loss and look at their actual win-loss.
Oh,
Here's
it's
what I
crazy.
argue: B, A, because they overachieved, but B, because there's a lot of weird situations this year, and I don't think that you can always just say it was just Mo. Like the
Okay.
Walker stuff, the Yvonne
Pereira.
not playing,
yeah.
I'm putting
Yanni
Ollie,
over Scott.
between Kittredge and John King because he got the best out of them.
What if he was below King because he supported John King?
Okay.
Or what if he's in B tier and he should be in F tier pointing to Arnautovic Goldschmidt as
Oh,
like,
that'd be
give me
so
something.
good. So good.
give me
No,
something.
no. But he can't be an F tier because
Yeah,
we
he
need people to
can't
know
be.
that we do glaze Ollie.
Yeah. I
That's
kind of
so
think high A, B tier, but low A. I just think there were too many weird situations this year to call him an A tier manager. But
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I like Ollie. I'll be honest. I just really came to like him. Like there were, especially when the team was playing poorly in August, in May, and then in August, like I'll be honest, I found his post-game press conferences more enjoyable than like the actual game at times. I don't know. I liked him as a guy. I feel like I would get along with him. He seems cool. So I was a fan.
Hey,
I
we're
did
getting
enjoy
there's more people tuning in now because of the Ollie part. I wonder if people heard we're glazing. Oh no.
Been
boy.
glazing Ollie for most of the season.
Yeah, I will say like a lot of people like I can't. Who's a single and like media is like hard on John Mozeliak right now. They are. I haven't heard anyone be hard
Are we
on.
doing it on 3 for Mo? For Money Mo?
Yeah. Oh gosh. All right, I think I've got mine.
I think I've got mine. I don't know. Yeah,
3, 2, 1. D tier.
C to D. Yeah, I'm like right on the border. I kind of said D because I don't want to take the flack for saying C again.
Yeah, because like especially with the stuff that came out recently, it's like, man, like,
That's
It's
not like
really bad.
it's on both. It's on DeWitt, but also like Mo should have seen some of this stuff coming too.
I actually have someone to put below Gallegos. Actually,
I could argue even F tier for
To
Mo,
haul it.
and I'm not even trying to like not. I'm not trying to like evade hate. Like it might be fair to put him in F tier at this point.
Mo.
Yeah, it's okay to admit I was wrong. I think I was wrong. I gave him too much credit for.
Okay, but here's the thing: Mo put together the roster in a winning way. If
It did finish above
this year,
500
this year, I'm not defending him for like the decisions he made in the past to divest in player development and stuff. But if we're looking strictly at this year, he put together a roster that would have made the playoffs and probably won the division if your two cornerstone future Hall of Fame bats didn't completely bottom out.
Yeah,
I agree with Andrew. I think like it's really hard to say that Mo like did a good job because you can point to so many failings. And like you're right, Josh, the articles coming out are just scathing. Like if you read, especially the first Woo piece,
I understand like putting Mo in F tier for the last like 4 years, probably, but like just for this year, just to fix the mistakes that he made, I think he did a respectable job.
Also, how many of the guys in the bottom tier are like this year Mo acquisitions versus like
none.
Guys long-term projects?
Just Brandon Crawford.
Yeah, that's fair.
O'Brien, I guess technically, but like, yeah, the guys that Mo went out and got to bolster the team are Kittredge, King at the last deadline.
Yeah.
Gray, Fernandez, Rule 5, Romero at a deadline recently. Like those guys are concentrated near the top. Even Gibson and Lynn are mid.
You know what we have to do then.
I'll hold the water one more time.
So we're gonna go D tier then?
Yeah.
Yeah, like not the bottom of D.
Just put him right next to Carpenter.
Veteran leadership.
Because he wanted to be here.
Carpenter's
he's giving Carpenter the water.
Yeah, Carpenter's holding it.
So I guess here to just give it a little bit more thought with this. Okay, so he brought in Heim and recognized that was something he needed to do, which is fair. But like, I guess something where it's like for me where it's hard not to put him in F tier is because we would defend a lot of things he did that I don't think we retroactively would have went back and defended big picture wise if we knew the unhealth internally. You know what I mean? Where it's like, yes, the Gibson Lynn stuff, but like if in a vacuum they missed the playoffs, it didn't work. Again, to your point, Andrew, it's like the offense failed him. But should they have made the bigger picture changes sooner? Yeah, they should have.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think he's handing off a really distraught organization at the end. That's where I potentially put F. Because I do think he's a weird role where he is big picture. You don't just grade the Pobo on what they accomplished this year. You grade them on the direction of the organization. And like how much of a mess it is right now, it's got to be F.
I'm still at D because I think the Cardinals are like 1 or 2 breaks away from being in the postseason.
But that stuff doesn't change the deep-rooted issues, right? Like it's
I can agree with that, but like also if you win, you win. Like if you make the postseason, no matter how dysfunctional your organization is, you made the postseason, and you're in the tournament. You know, like,
and you're getting bounced in the first round by the Braves.
It's true. That probably would happen.
So Andrew, are you still D then, or do you think F?
I think F is fine.
Because the whole chat's saying F too.
Yeah.
Like, I think there's a lot of anger towards Mo for sure. And I get that. Like I'm mad at Mo too.
Should you put him right between Crawford and Goldie?
I'd put him above Arenado and Goldie.
Or we should put him in between Crawford and Walker because Walker's really thirsty and he wants the water, but he's giving it to Crawford instead.
Oh, I like that. That's good. I'll allow that.
Oh gosh. All right. DeWitt F, bottom of F.
Yeah,
Bottom
DeWitt is the worst.
behind
He's
Gallegos.
below Gallegos. I'm tired of it. Also, like,
Look
guess
at our
what?
F. Like, it's like the evolution of this thing has like been kind of crazy.
Yeah. But it's
About-
fair. It's a dynamic list. Like, why would we dig our heels in and try to defend? Like, we wanted great in what we've seen, right?
Yeah.
About DeWitt, right? Like, I know that there's people that are blaming Mozeliak for like not splitting the money effectively. Fine, but like, if DeWitt cared about development or a pitching lab, like those are not massive expenditures. Miles Michaelis is probably more expensive than overhauling a lot of the development system. Like that's not that much money. And I can't imagine that Mozeliak was having trouble siphoning off just a little bit of money to do these things. Like I feel like maybe it's on DeWitt for saying we want to cut where we can and save on the margins.
Yeah.
That makes more sense to me. I just can't see a scenario in which Mozeliak is like, $11 million for Keenan Middleton, or revamp entire player development system where he chooses Keenan Middleton. Like I don't know. Maybe he was that tone deaf and maybe he's that bad an executive, but I can't imagine that's the case.
Yeah, but also like the Rays can do it with no money, and the Guardians can do it with no money. And
yeah, for sure. But like, how much did it cost? But like, how much did it cost them to do these things? And why is DeWitt not saying, "Hey, I'm the one in charge. I'm writing the checks. Put this money towards this."
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, the bill stops with him. He's the worst.
Yeah. The thing that we'll never know, which is just hard, is like we'll never know how hard. Like Mo could have went into his office and be like, "Hey, like this is what's going to happen if we don't invest here." And he's like, "I don't like," because people like DeWitt also plays a role in baseball operations.
Absolutely,
like,
he does.
He isn't just like, "Mo, here's your money, go do what you want with it." Like
I think DeWitt the third is the one who's doing more of that now, and he's the one who I really have an issue with.
Well, no, I like people have said DeWitt Jr. likes to be involved in the baseball decisions. So I guarantee he's probably looking at like, oh, we need to make this a winning roster this year, and thinking that, oh, our guys know how to handle the development of people. And doesn't mean, I think Mo also probably thought that, but there's a chance he was. Anyways, I think it's fair to put DeWitt below Mo and F, but they're both were equally complicit for the most part. I think you could say DeWitt should have not put blinding faith in Mo. And like also it's hard to like lead, like if someone gives you all the authority in the world and zero checks and balances, like that's not good leadership on DeWitt's end.
Did he give Mo blinding faith though? Like I think there's a scenario. I just think it's likely that there were more constraints on Mo than we know. Obviously that's speculation.
Yes, but I think like he wasn't gonna fire Mo. Like he wasn't gonna be like question what he did. I guess maybe I don't know. Anyways, speculative. Cardinals. Do we do just like how the season finished, or like the state of the organization?
Those are two different things for sure. State of the organization, I think, is let's just say both. Let's do how the season went first. 1, 2, 3.
We can average out.
Yeah. C.
Right. C. Yeah.
C. But state of the organization is D.
F.
I don't know if it's F.
I don't think it's quite F because they're not like in need of full teardown.
Yeah, look, you got 30 teams in baseball. The Cardinals organizationally are not a bottom 5 team in baseball. Like we can agree that they're not the Rockies, they're not the Pirates. The Pirates might have like some.
The Pirates are better. I like the Pirates more next year.
No, the Pirates have been incompetent for the last 4 decades. The
Cardinals
like the
last year. For next year, I prefer the Pirates.
I don't know. I think you got to prove that you can at least win something. They're not the White Sox. You know, they're not the Blue Jays are in a worse spot than them. The Angels, absolutely. Like, they're not a bottom 5 team. I'd say D.
Top of D, maybe, for Cardinals?
Top of D.
Yeah, top of D is fine for me.
Cool. Oh, how the mighty have fallen.
It's tough.
Chip Carey.
S tier.
Yeah, S tier. Chip Carey.
I love
Chip. Maybe A tier.
What?
Josh, you ruined it for me. You told me about the ambush thing, and I just keep hearing
Let's say ambush way too much.
Keep hearing it now. You ruined it for me.
I don't even like. I haven't watched the games yet. So
S tier is fine.
All right, chat. How are we doing? Mo's water holder this year? How'd I do? Are we just go? Well, so wait.
How about you get like a 30-second speech for yourself?
Okay. So I get to like. I think this year I predicted. I laid the blueprint for what success would look like, and it ended up being right that the rotation just needed to be good enough, and the bullpen was gonna be great. The offense needed to succeed, but the offense failed, so the season's massive failure. I gave too much credit to Mo, and And so I've learned where I was wrong on stuff. So I'm excited for the future, though. And it's been fun, this podcast with you guys. So I've enjoyed it.
I get behind that.
So I don't know. Chat, or do we need to rank ourselves? I don't think we need to do that. If we put we're definitely not posting a graphic with ourselves.
No, we're not. They're not going on the graphic.
We're off the graphic. We're off the graphic. This is an exclusive if you watch.
Well, we need to rank Luke and Baker. He goes in B tier just to make my stair step look prettier.
No, because he
barely played.
Or we're moving Ollie to B tier. Because you guys did both say B tier and I said A tier.
Oh, Kareem says we all deserve
shucks,
S.
Kareem. Kareem is S tier.
Kareem goes
Kareem's S tier.
above McGreevy.
Oh yeah,
Agreed
Kareem's
with
got to
that.
be honors going forward now too.
It's true.
Yeah.
Birds on the farm.
Birds on the farm, baby.
Those are the
The
farms that do
Baker Baker mashed left-handed pitching. How many bats though? Plate appearances against lefties. He had 17. That's not fair to go off of. But what was that WRC plus? A 196 WRC plus against lefties, but he also said 23 WRC plus against righties,
which is like new Bardonovan territory.
Yeah.
So Luke
Katie would be S tier this year. Her reporting was top tier.
It was good.
Yep.
Jeff S tier guest, that's for sure.
Always.
And he had some good stuff too. He was really on some of the potential changes. He was probably the earliest to speak them out loud.
And Jeff he does such a good job of like pointing at little things that not everyone's noticing.
Yeah, he's good at that. Yeah. Well, I think that's our list, right?
Are we not ranking ourselves?
Oh, I don't know. The chat's not really giving us much here. Sandy.
Kareem said we should all be an S tier. He's the only one who said.
Yeah, I can work with that. That works for me. Look, I'll just
say that I got a lot of takes wrong earlier in the season, but throughout the season, I had an Albert Pujols-esque resurgence when I said like 2 weeks before the deadline, with the Cardinals like a game out of the playoffs, I was like, if the deadline was tomorrow, I would sell.
That's fair.
That turned out to be the right decision.
Look, I'll just say this, okay?
You're right.
I picked my guys to glaze this year, and I glazed them all year, okay? John King, start to finish. I glazed John King. I glazed McGreevy. I glazed Palante. All right? All these were solid picks. Not all of them worked out. I glazed O'Brien, and that was tough. I'll admit that. But that's what you get. That's the Sandy McMillan experience. That's the 7 All-Stars experience.
Sandy, I get S tier because I think I won the war draft. And I won the bowl predictions.
You did.
And I think I won the end of year predictions for the standings.
If you're not going to have hope, why watch the games?
Cody, me wearing a Dodger Stadium at Busch Stadium got me Clayton Kershaw's autograph, so I don't want to hear it.
Oh, rank our takes. Okay, that'd actually be we could collectively between us or ask Twitter to find some of our takes and we rank them.
No.
It'd actually be like random December episode when there's nothing going on. It'd be kind of funny to like.
Yeah, that'd actually be great. All right. Well,
we're looking for a starter that's better than Steven Matz and Miles Michaelis. Shota Managa really doesn't fit that bill.
I like Kareem here. Passing the NBA, which that would be sad. Rosenthal, ESPN, Wu to which we're losing Wu. There's no way we're not losing her soon. And then I'll take her job, but I'm just kidding.
Oh,
no way. The hottest ones could have been right. Hey, Tyler Glasnow, I still stand by that take. I don't care he got hurt at the end.
Tyler Glasnow is the bane of my existence right now. I do not enjoy having him over oh man.
Yeah. I'll say this then. If we want to do that episode, this is on the chat. There are like 86 people watching this right now that can go and dig up our worst and best hot takes from Twitter. And if you guys present them to us, we will.
I said the Angels would finish 5th last October this year.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I just want someone to find my John King tweets.
Oh man. Hey,
find my RISP tweets.
True. Hey, we do want to thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe if you're watching. It helps the channel a ton. I think I haven't told the guys yet, but I'm sure you'll agree. I will. He comes have a middling farm system.
Don't say that. No, that's crazy. I never would say something like that at all.
That's amazing.
It's a crazy take.
I've never had a bad take.
They did at the entire
year, actually. I was high on Shota Managa from the start. I said last July that he was a very intriguing option. You can go find the tweet. It's real.
Yeah. Hey, but something that we'll probably tweet out here soon, probably put in our Discord, but maybe on YouTube if we can do a community post, is we did remember we did that questionnaire last year that
Yeah.
kind of people give feedback. So if you want to give some feedback on the channel and some of the stuff we're doing, that'd be really appreciated. We always appreciate that. Again, like the video helps us out a ton. We'll be live again tomorrow to react to the press conference and whatever happens from that. Again, you can expect a Sandy and Kareem episode this year for Birds on the Farm, or not this year, this week.
Yeah, I hope
and
there's
then
one this year.
we might be live Wednesday. We'll figure out if it's necessary or not. And then again, huge thanks to Andrew for he posted his last graphic of the year. So 162 of those graphics for each of the streams. He puts in all the hard work. Then Sandy and I just show up and talk.
That's
and
true.
So we wouldn't be here without Andrew's ability to carry the team here. So
Can I end the
appreciate
year
that.
off with one thing?
Yeah.
My
What's your
free agent
speech?
target has accrued the most war. More war than Josh and Sandy's combined. There you go.
Oh boy.
Ridiculous.
Otani. All right. Well, we appreciate you guys. It's been a sad 2024 season. The Cardinals are turning the page on an era, really, and heading to a rebuild, something that none of us have really experienced. And so, but I think we'll be able to find some silver linings in it. There'll be a lot of fun talk. Very different offseason, though, for the Cardinals, and we're looking forward to digesting with you guys. So we'll see you next time on Dealing the Cards.